Shabba-da-bye. You get next to the warm fire, you just can't help but yawn.
Right. Just sleepy in general these days. You are such a slurpy boy.
What a beautiful caffeinated morning to be back at the fireside chat.
Heck, it's almost noon now, I think. No, we're still got a little bit.
No. A lot happening around here, around Spokane HQ.
I barely know. I'm gone so much.
Things are moving, things are shaking.
It's the busy time of year, dog.
Yeah, we're ramping up. We're
Yeah.
6 weeks to most openers, 4 weeks to some.
Yep. Yeah. Well, your August stuff's what? It's
4 weeks.
a week. It's a week to August 1st. There's some August 1st stuff.
The wild inns in the West Coast, some of them are already out hunting.
Yeah, there's James is out hunting right now. I don't know where he's hunting. I texted him and said, "What are you hunting?"
July hunting seasons are rare, but I know there's a few in California.
Yeah, in the left coast.
There's a couple in
Left
Idaho.
Southern. Yeah. July?
Yeah.
What's open in July in Idaho?
Some of the bear. Yep. A couple units are open for bear.
Yeah, it goes till July 15th, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's 9.
Yeah.
7 and 9 are open that late.
And I always thought a cool long-term quest would be to kill a bear in every season you could, which would probably be April, May, June, July, August, September, October, maybe
bear
November.
Master.
Be the bear master.
Master bearer.
Yes. Bear it all.
I think that could be you, for sure.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be great. I've thought about it before. July would really be the tough one and kind of unique that it's not too far away. We could sneak one in if we wanted to get on it.
Yeah, you need you need the little enclosed cargo trailer that I bought, or a little toy hauler I bought. I didn't even show you that yet, did I? Yeah, I bought me a little 21-foot toy hauler. I made a guy a deal. It was it's like 10 years old. I said, I'll make you a deal. You bring it to my house, and if I can get my actual machine in it, because I measured it like 4 times, and it's not going to fit. So I was like, I don't think it's going to fit, but if you bring it to my house and it pulls into it, I will pay your asking price. I won't try to dicker with you. It's like, all right, I'll bring it over tomorrow.
That's fair. That's a good
And
gamble.
dude, it was an inch in every direction that it fit. But yeah, it's got a bed in the front. It's got a bathroom, kitchenette, like most things do.
Is that going to be
Motorized queen in the back?
Is that going to be your steady? Your kind of like your main piece when you go travel?
Yeah, well, that'll be my hunting rig.
That's what I mean,
Setup
yeah.
for sure. If I'm hunting, I'm camping in that. And then the back's got a motorized queen above, and then bench seats back and forth on either side of that. And when you open everything up, it just barely fits a Polaris Expedition, which is like almost 13 feet long and over 6 feet wide.
That's a lot. It's a lot of rig.
It barely fit. And I'm like, I got it and I had to climb out the windshield. Like I popped the windshield out and climbed out and dove out of it. And I'm like, well, it fits. So I guess I got to pay you.
Is that going to make it down to your pronghorn hunt, that rig?
Yeah, that'll go down to the pronghorn because it's basically an enclosed cargo trailer, but it's got a place to sleep and stuff.
Does it have an option for AC if you could?
It has an AC unit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got an AC unit in it for sure.
Yeah. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think about, we're just coming back off a little Utah Total Archery Challenge bomb trip.
Yep.
What do you think about it?
I love the Utah attack. It's one of my faves. I had flown in on Monday morning, and Jeff met me down there and picked me up from the airport, and he drove down. And then we did a couple of brand visits. We visited Black Rifle, we visited Hoyt, we visited Easton, visited Green River, and then went up to the mountain on Thursday. Met you guys up there.
Any of those visits really surprise you? Like, oh, I didn't know this was going on here.
Hoyt was mostly what I expected. I learned some things at Easton that I didn't know. They let me look at things I'm not supposed to see, but I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, the engineer did. My Tyson got distracted by Jeff, and I grabbed the engineer. I said, "Take me to where they make X10s. I want to know. I want to see this." And what amazed me the most about Easton is the facility's huge because you got to remember Easton was originally making aluminum arrows, right? It's very large scale. The amount of space they have dedicated to making aluminum products is like over 80% of their factory, it looks like. Like if you had to graph it out and map it out, right? How much of it's dedicated to making a perfect piece of aluminum? Because it starts very different than you think it would start. How they actually make those arrows is wild, including the cores that are in like your X10 Parallel Pro or X10s, things like that. The exterior that's on a FMJ, they're all, or the FMJ Max, which is a sleeper good arrow, actually. But the way they're made is pretty remarkable, but the amount of requirement of space to make aluminum is wild. And then the amount of space they're making probably 70% of the world's carbon arrows in is small. Like, it's baffling. Like, I walking around here, and Tyson was with me the whole day, which he was on my channel before. Really good dude. We get along really well.
Podcasted right over there.
Yeah, he podcasted here. Great dude. Yeah, I'm looking at him going, this is it? He's like, yeah. This is where majority of the world's carbon arrows are made, in a box that you could fit it in my archery shop. Like, you could fit the amount probably. Like, if there wasn't the upstairs and didn't have the walls and whatnot, and it was just bare open, I bet you it would fit in there. It is amazing. And they're making other stuff in there too that's not just carbon arrows.
Very efficient then.
It's wild. Like, flat freaking wild. You're getting through with all this, and you're watching it go, and you're watching it finish, and they're like, don't record this, but you can record that and whatnot, right? When you're looking at it, and I'm like, this is it? He's like, yeah. Like, that's really impressive. I didn't fully understand how that arrow's made, and now I do. And it's even more impressive to me than it was before. It's a pretty wild functional thing and how those are made. But understanding the core principles of their companies, both of those companies, like, they have like mottos of how they function. I understand better now why it took so long to make a 5.0 and why Hoyt doesn't have a tuning system yet. I get it. They have some core principles that aren't about profit, or aren't about, just simply advancing for the sake of advancing. It has to make sense within a given parameter. That is, at its core, what's best for archery. And it's pretty cool, like, to see how seriously they take that. I mean, overall, like, both of those companies, like, Greg Easton owns them, right? And what's the phrase I got told? He spells million with a B. He doesn't need money, right? So they still operate on the core beliefs of improving the sport more than just making money. So if you get frustrated with those particular brands for any purpose of, well, why haven't you done this yet? Like, why don't they make a RIP XV weight 5mm, right? Well, it might not fall within the parameters of how they believe things need to be to ensure what's the betterment of the actual sport. So, and it's pretty cool. I did not get to meet Greg, although I would love to meet him someday. But it was Easton. Don't get me wrong; they were both really, really cool and a really neat experience. Easton, so I think, surprised me more than Hoyt. Both were better than I thought. Not to say I didn't think positively; I did, but both were better than I expected, honestly. But Easton probably got me more than Hoyt did. But it was really cool, and we're working up a series on my channel of seeing different brands and facilities and how they do things and what their policies are and why they do things the way they do things. That'll be a whole series on my channel in the future. We've got 6 or 7 of them, but we're gonna release it once there's like a continual, like, once a month. Here's a new one, kind of thing. Might be more than that, but it was fun, and I learned a lot, and I probably have even more respect for Easton than I did, which I still had a lot of respect. Let me make that very clear, but I was very impressed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're leading the charge in American-made arrows.
Yes.
Right.
Very much.
There's not even like like, if they're the head, there's not really even a shoulder, right? Like,
no.
Yeah.
There's not.
So.
Well, it's because in there's a couple arrows they make in their line. So there's pultrusion and there's rolled carbon. All right. So rolled carbon, when you look at it, it looks like a sheet of paper almost when you first glimpse it, and it gets rolled onto a mandrel, and then it gets baked basically, and then and put coating on it, and then when it's finished, they sand it down to shape or weight or spine, right? And the argument with rolled carbon is that they're typically trying to get it down to a given spine, but the sanding process makes the variance greater, and then you're going to get a really big span of arrow weight. Or you can get it down to weight, and then you get a much bigger variance in spine. It's up to you. You can't have both. You can pick one or the other, right? Whereas most of the Easton arrows that you see aren't sanded at all. Like the arrow's finished when it comes off of the end, and it's not rolled. It's pultruded. It's like woven as it goes. Woven's not the right word, but it's a very interesting process to actually see it. And there's part of it that I'm not supposed to talk about, but it's pretty amazing that it's all. The video will do a better job than I can verbally explain it, but it's very different than anything else.
Yeah.
If you didn't cut the arrows off, because as it comes out of the machine, they're like cutting them off. It's you'll like looking at it. You'll think it's pretty cool. I think I'll be surprised if you don't. But like the arrow comes out of the end and then they cut it off. If they didn't cut it off, it would go for like 4 miles. It's one arrow, one mandrel, just keeps going. And there's no seam.
Keeps dicing it.
So anytime you have like a roll and wrap style carbon arrow, there's a seam in it. And they sand it down to where you don't see it, but there's still a spot where the material started and the material stopped. And that's part of why you get a greater variance in the high spine, low spine point.
Just like if you're rolling up a
doobie
or
there's an end.
Or a cigarette when people used to roll cigarettes.
Yeah, there's an end there, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
And you lick it.
Yeah, they don't lick it though. But no, that's the process that most use, and there are a couple of arrows in their line that are made overseas because they don't do roll and wrap. They're not built for it. So they have a couple of arrows. I think it was 3% of their entire line. There's graphics on like their legacy carbon arrow, right? The wood grain looking thingamajiggy, right? That's a roll and wrap thing. So like when you look at the layout, the last piece of the roll and wrap is whatever the graphic is. And as it rolls around the arrow, that's how it finishes. And they don't have the facilities to do that. And then some of their big, large diameter target arrows are also roll and wrap. So those come in from overseas. The rest of it's made there. Any AC product, whether it's a FMJ Max, X10 Parallel Pro, any of those arrows, those are all made there, and they are not a protrusion. They're different in that regard, but those are all made there. And then, yeah, like I said, just a couple of the large diameter target arrows and the wood grain arrow are not U.S., but everything else is U.S. I don't think there's another arrow company that makes any arrow in the U.S., period. I could be wrong. Comment down below or point it out. Hey, so-and-so is made in the States. Love to hear it. I don't think they are. I don't think any of them are. They're all imported.
Yeah, so one of those companies you mentioned was Black Rifle Coffee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How cool was it that we're just milling around Vendor Village and we pop into Evan Hafer?
Yeah, well, I shot with Evan Hafer in April.
Yeah.
So we had
I've gotten to conversate with him a little bit, but
good dude.
That's what I think is so neat about a Total Archery Challenge is like no idea who you're going to run into.
Sure.
And it's usually in a situation that's pretty approachable. So like we got to hang out and talk with Evan a little bit about just fly fishing in the Northwest.
He's big into fishing.
And Brandon rolled up to him and was like, "Hey, dude, nice watch. It's a so-and-so or whatever."
Did you know Brandon didn't know who he was?
Yes, exactly. That's what was funny, yeah. So, and I mean, for rightfully so. Like, Evan's just wearing a hat and glasses. He just looks like he's acting like a normal dude. Like, he didn't have a little mafia around him or nothing, you know?
Yeah.
And Brandon's like, "Hey, dude, nice watch." And Evan's like, "Oh, you have a nice watch, too." And, yeah, they got to bond over being watch people or whatever. But it was funny, yeah, because Brandon didn't know it was Evan. And it's just cool. I just think the experience like that is pretty neat. Like, people without their guard up, you know, you get to hang out, talk with them.
Yeah. Maybe a little less PC, a little more who they are.
Yeah.
That's always cool.
Yeah, pretty neat. And almost every Total Archery Challenge I've been to has been like that. Like, you don't know who's going to be there, who's going to show up. And everyone's pretty approachable. Same for you or me. I mean, when we're there and we're down in the vendor village, we're there to hang out with people.
Yep.
Talk to people, get to meet them, get to be around them, get to socialize. And yeah, that whole social side is like, it's fun.
Yeah, that's probably a big part of the reason for it. honestly, in my opinion.
Did you get to meet anyone interesting that you haven't met yet at that one?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I take that back. I hadn't met Greg Poole before. I'd talked to him on the phone, but I'd never actually met him.
BGP?
And big Greg Poole is big.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like his hand would cover my face.
It looks like he would have made a great offensive tackle.
Yeah.
You
like
know,
just
tall
giant,
guy.
Just a mountain of a man. And,
Tall guy,
and
big
cool
proportions.
as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool as shit. Really nice guy. Had a couple of really good long conversations with him. Liked him a lot. I had not met him in person before. He was hanging out in the Beast booth, which I never did ask him, so what's your affiliation? Because he was like G'd up from the feet up with a Beast hat and a Beast shirt and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, all right, so you're working with or for Bowmar to some degree.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you are like tattooed.
Yeah.
But
he was supporting the brand for sure.
For sure, supporting the brand. Yeah, heck of a nice guy. And I'm actually working on bringing a site in that he really likes that hasn't been imported into the U.S. before.
Oh.
So I actually was just answering an email before we got in here, trying to get it hammered out. So hopefully that gets all out, because he has a whole product review he wants to launch on it, talk about it. But he's like, there's no place that I can buy one here. So I'm bringing in that company here pretty quick, even though it's the wrong time of year. That's when he originally reached out. He was trying to find somebody to bring it in. And for one reason or another, they didn't want to deal with the other company that would typically do that.
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah. Let's just leave it at that. The other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really
we don't
only
need to
one.
get specific.
Nothing specific at all.
Yeah, I don't need to get sued. I don't need to get sued.
Well, I hadn't had a chance to hang out or socialize with the Bowmars. You have.
Not to interrupt you. Does that not taste just like Welch's grape juice?
It's very good.
It's wild.
It's very good.
They have like 4 or 5 that are just spot on. I'm like, how come you can't make like the Sour Patch Kids one? Like, how come you can't make Sour Patch Kids and only have 10 calories? This tastes just like it.
Yeah, I was always a little hesitant about Ghost when it first came around. I don't know if it was just how they looked on the shelf or the packaging, but I always figured they would be kind of like, there'd be like the Coca-Cola of archery drinks. Like maybe there's a lot of ingredients in them, but relatively speaking, I mean, similar amount of ingredients to most of them. Not the least, but definitely not the most, and they taste good. I feel good on them. I don't feel any weird stuff going on.
I'd never had one until James's event, and he had, I guess they sponsored the event, so there was a bunch of Ghost stuff everywhere. There was hydrates and energy drinks, and I tried 3 or 4 of them, and I'm like, damn, that's really good.
Tasty.
Like, yeah, it was very good. Very surprised.
Yeah.
Hats off, Ghost. Good job for flavor. Do like it.
Yeah, the Ghost could be a daily drinker for sure. Or grape, excuse me. But yeah, I hadn't had a chance to hang out or talk with the Bowmars, and you have already, right? Like you've spent some good amount of time around them.
Yeah, I shot with them twice in PA. I've texted and whatnot, Josh a little bit in between here and there, and then shot with them again in Utah. Yeah. Which you got to, that was your first experience with them. What were your thoughts?
It was fun. It was nice.
I would like to first start by saying the amount of hate that guy gets is just wild. Just did a broadhead review of the new titanium one. And dude, like, I mean, there's a ton of really positive comments, but there are some venomously hateful people down there. Like one dude in particular is like, just, man, grow up. It's pretty sad, but like even giving me a hard time about reviewing a product. I was like, it's an archery product that is sold nationally.
And a big product.
I would be irresponsible in not reviewing it just because you don't like the person that made it. Like, give me a break. Like, grow up, people.
Yeah, and if that's your choice or whatever, you don't want to support the product, the brand.
Yeah, don't.
That's up to you. That's up to you.
That's fine, but don't like bark at me for just even looking at it.
Yeah, that's crazy. But whenever I meet somebody, I always try to meet them with an open mind, and meeting somebody at a situation like that, like, yes, you're not going to spend like intimate quality time, right? You're not hanging out at a dinner, having deep conversations or whatever, but you get to hang around them, get to be around them, get a feel for who they are and how they operate. And he was nice. He was very full of energy.
Always.
You could see Sarah was very much a yin to his yang.
Yeah, they balance each other pretty damn well.
Which I thought was cool.
They really do.
Sarah's a person who's been very successful in her own career in her own right. And when we were out there shooting, she was just there to help support him trying to make a video. Yeah. Which was really nice to see, just like she was there to help. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And she did a good job, you know? Yeah. Which is cool. So yeah, Josh has a lot of energy. And I could see, if you're spending a week at hunting camp with him and you were with Josh a lot, like he could probably wear you
It's like,
down.
okay, man, I'm tired. You gotta stop. Like,
He could wear you down a little.
I don't know what all is in your supplements, but bro, it's okay. But
Yeah.
he gets super excited about everything.
Yeah.
Like the
Very
persona,
passionate.
the persona that you see when he's filming, like talking about a product or something like that, that's like really high. That is his personality.
Yeah.
Now, I think even in that scenario, he's stepping it up even just
Turned
a little
up,
bit,
yeah.
right? But that's his personality,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? The guy's just excited.
Mm-hmm.
He's excited, authentic. Like you ask him a question about something, and he will carry that same level of excitement over here and be super excited about that. Like I mentioned something about food plotting and trying to learn a little bit about it, and oh my god, he got so like
He opened up a can of worms.
yeah, just like this. Oh my god, it's the biggest rabbit hole you've ever seen. You can come out, look at all this different stuff, and see. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you'd probably be this excited about air,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me the different kinds of air. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's his authentic self,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to, before I ever met him and talked to him, I got warned a couple different times, right? And I'm just like, I don't judge people until I meet them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna predetermine an outcome of anything.
Meet him belly to
And-
belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I'd seen him in different circles a couple of different times, and everything that I saw impressed me. So I was like, all right, I'll give him a chance, and I'm glad I did. I have a very different impression of him than I did prior.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be people commenting in the bottom of this that he's like the spawn of Satan or something. Like you guys just hateful people are going to hate.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. And that's something I thought I learned really well, that recently I had a bit of a weak moment where I was really struggling with it, and reinvigorated my people who hate you are going to hate you.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do about it. Don't interact. Don't respond back. Don't communicate. Just move on.
And the
Leave
bigger
it
you
there.
get, the more hate you're gonna get.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a weird truth, and it is. But yeah, just like a couple things I took away was, he's on the course and asking questions to the guys like, hey, what do you think about this, or what do you think about shooting on this angle? Because there were a couple guys in the group that had shot at the professional level, and he was just kind of ping ponging questions off of them. What do you think about this? So he was trying to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is always that's a telling thing. If someone's open-minded enough to ask questions from somebody who's more accomplished than them, even though they might be accomplished very much in their own right and
Right.
maybe something else, like he was a sponge. He was asking questions and not in a way where he was asking just to ask them. He was asking them to really hear out their opinion. And I
Yeah.
thought that was cool.
He's absolutely a nerd.
Yeah.
Like he really nerds out on everything.
Yeah, very
100%.
analytical.
Which you wouldn't like at a glimpse. You'd look at him and go, no.
Yeah.
But no, he's like crazy into that stuff.
Yeah. Very
In general, like everything, he's a sponge and he's trying to learn really hard. Which I relate that back to is simply trying to make better things for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at that from a monetary standpoint or just simply improving the sport
Mhm.
standpoint. I don't really believe it's all about money. I mean, they've made a whole bunch of money and other things, so I don't really think that's what drives this.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wants to make the sport better, and I have a hard time not relating to that or fighting against that,
Mm-hmm.
because I just want to make the sport better. I've constantly given product ideas to brands and say, here, what about this? Have you thought about that? Have you tried that? Because I just want to see better stuff. I'm not necessarily trying to make money on it. But I don't fault anybody who's in the business of making products.
Yeah, I would really encourage or support anyone who wants to push innovation within the industry.
Absolutely.
Because you could see there are parts of the industry, particularly, that they're not evolving very quickly. So someone that's
Mhm.
there to help innovate is a good force to push products that are going to help us all in the long run.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So and at the end of it, he also shot well. He shot
did.
well. He has like all sorts of gadgets and weird shit that he's tried and experimented with, like a pointy release edge to help him work the trigger more slowly instead of working it quickly. So yeah, all in all, spending some time around him, like he was good to be around for sure.
Yeah.
Shot well,
Yeah, he's made
encouraging.
He's made some really interesting little things that he's still playing with that he hasn't actually tried to sell.
Yeah.
And for one reason or another, it's probably because he's worked out so much and he's probably calloused really bad. Everything's super fucking pokey. I shot his bow and I put my hands on the front. I'm like, it hurts my hand. What the hell is that? It's like, I can feel it every time. And I was like, yeah, but you've got like 17,000 layers of skin. Not everybody does. But his little pointed release thing to where if you tried to punch it, it would hurt. I'm like, not a bad idea. Might have to have different degrees of how pointy it is for one person to the next.
Yeah.
But yeah, neat little ideas.
Yeah, good ideas. And he was very welcoming and encouraging to all the people in the group as well, right? Like we had a pretty diverse group of people shooting. He included everybody. I think everyone felt like they were probably heard out. It was a fun group to just hang out and shoot some carbon with.
Yeah. Did it surprise you?
No. Sarah surprised me because I actually know very, very little about her or less about her. She's quieter, obviously very quiet compared to Josh, but you can tell she's very focused, driven, and determined. It was also very nice too. It was like we had a break. She's like, "Hey, you guys want some snacks? You know, can I help you with something?"
She busted out snacks like 3 different times.
Yeah, the snack queen, as far as I'm concerned. Like
Absolutely.
I've never seen someone bust out a bag of snacks like that at a Total Archery Challenge.
Yeah.
She like mixed up a protein shake and had like 4 different bags of snacks, and so it was nice to spend some time around her and just see how humble she was, and she was just humble and hardworking. You know, she wasn't keeping to herself and getting it done, and I thought that was cool. So
yeah, I think a lot of the negativity that hovers around them is the number of lawsuits that they've been involved in, and when you have a very successful business with a lot of money involved in it, you're gonna end up in those things. Period.
yeah.
Now, maybe there's a different path that could be taken in there, but the reality of it, whether you like it or not, and whether you're cognizant of it or not, when you're in the millions of dollars, like tens of millions of dollars of revenue, like you're gonna end up in lawsuits one way or another at some point or another. There's really not any way around that. I've been mildly involved in one thus far, and I'm praying that's all that I ever have to deal with. But you never know. Right. The more you have, the more you're going to end up in that situation. Regardless of how good or bad you are, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but it's reality.
Yeah. Yeah. And none of us are perfect people. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And I think at the end of the day, like a lot of it can really boil down to intent or the person that you're growing or becoming. Like if you make a mistake and you turn the wrong way from that, that's tough, right?
Right.
If you make a mistake and you learn from it and you grow from it, who is anyone to judge that?
Well,
you know what I mean?
The negative haters in the comments feel like they have a right to judge that.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, haters are going to hate, man. There's no way around it. You just got to ignore it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. And I at one point had kind of forgot that a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just ignore it.
Yeah.
Like, guaranteed I had a good talk with them in the PA shoot about that.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to get it, and you're going to get a lot of it. You can't look like you look, act like you act, and be in the position that you're in and not get it. You're going to get it, and you're going to get it a lot.
Yeah.
And the majority of it probably has a lot to do with jealousy.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. Just ignore it.
Yeah. All in all, it was a good afternoon. I had a good impression. Left me feeling like, man, those people are pretty cool.
That was a good 4 or 5 hours with them.
Yeah.
It's hard to, I think Rogan probably said it best. Like, you can fake an hour. You can't really fake 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
It's going to come out a little bit. And that's the third time I've shot with him where it went like 4 or 5 hours of shooting. And it's the same dude the whole time. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Draw your own conclusions, but I think they're good people.
Yeah. Use your own brains, draw your own conclusions. Meet somebody with an open mind, belly to belly, like see what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your impression of the weekend, how you shot?
I shot okay.
I thought you hit some pretty good little grooves and rhythms.
Well,
for sure.
In all fairness, it's the first time I've shot 2 shoots in a row with the same bow the whole year.
Which is nice.
Well, it was nice. Yeah, I was like, Brandon gotten mad at me at one point, like a month and a half ago. He's like, "Would you like leave one bow alone?
Yeah.
Like, take one, leave it alone. Always have it reliable to go back to. Use it for a year. See how you get with it after a year." I'm
Yeah.
like, "That's not what I'm doing this for."
A main piece.
Yeah, but it's nice to start to feel like you got comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still there's stuff I would change on that bow quite a bit. Actually, I still think my peep's probably a little too big. I think I'm gonna a tweener. Would somebody make 100th of an inch peep, please?
Mm-hmm. So
Instead
you got
of
the twisty in, twisty out peep?
No, I don't. But I'm in between the sizes.
Hmm.
I don't like putting the extra weight on my string.
Well, then you got to run the sight in or out, right?
Yeah, you can a little bit, but the side I have doesn't hardly move in and out. So I'm kind of stuck with it. There's no way around it. There's and my idea
Couldn't quite afford the movable sight, the in and out.
Yeah, yeah. I had an idea for a peep that Eric Griggs. I talked to him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a problem. What you're trying to do won't work in the long run." I'm like, "Damn it!" And I thought I had the perfect solution for how to resolve that problem to custom make your peep just perfect. Because every time I build a new hunting bow, I struggle with that for a month.
Yeah, in theory, it could be like a threaded situation, right, where the thread tightens.
Sure. Yeah, well, the idea was that you could screw it farther in, but
Right.
then it's going to change the depth of where it is in relation to the string, and that has to stay directly in the middle of the string, so when it turns, it doesn't actually move to left or right.
Sure.
Like, damn it, you're right. I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, good idea. Failed immediately. So, but yeah, it's tricky, but I am very happy with that bow. Hauser and Tate Morgan kept giving me shit about using a target bow. It's like, it's a 34-inch axle straight riser bow. Why would you call it that?
Yeah.
It's like, did you go on the website and see what category it's in? Fuck you, Dave.
Yeah. No,
I think he was pissed because I almost beat him.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I was giving you guys shit too all weekend in good fun. But the
from
reality was
from the guy who's shooting a bow that actually won something.
Exactly. The reality is I was using the longest axle bow there.
Yep.
But it was, just because the hunting company put a hunting label on it doesn't mean that, it's just a label, right? Like
it is just a label.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
It was a 35-inch bow that I shot. I don't know. I shot weird. I shot good in some spots, bad in others, and finished the weekend shooting pretty good. So, I don't know. I felt all in all pretty good about it.
Good. Nice.
Yeah. I think it's time to let the cat out of the bag a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? You know what cat I'm talking
Probably
about?
not, because you don't tell me shit ahead of time anyway.
No, I think you know.
Okay.
I think you know when you noticed.
I'm
Was
not going to do it. I was going to be me for a second. I ain't going to do it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was punching the trigger.
Oh, you're gonna make this public?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Oh, I thought I could just drop little fake tints for like the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are slamming the shit out of the trigger.
Yeah. No, I was punching the trigger at tack.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Tim, I've known for a while and I don't care.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I love you just the same.
Yeah. I think it's a dirty word. And,
It is a dirty word.
and I'm not advocating for someone to do it. I'm just saying that this started at like whatever the first buffalo ranch I shot was with the boys when we shot 2v2. And I shot the best I'd ever shot, but it was incredibly windy. And I was just like, you know what? When my pin is settled and hovered in the place, I'm just touching it off. I'm not rattlesnaking it. My thumb is still around the barrel, but I'm going to squeeze it off. And I shot incredible. And I was like, wow, maybe I just do this in the wind, because in the wind, that feels pretty nice. Best I'd ever shot. Let me try it again. So I shot a couple of 3D events like that and really well. And so I'm kind of at this intersection where I'm like, if it's windy, I like to shoot that way.
This is not what I expected you to talk about. I'm so surprised.
Yeah. If it's windy, I like to shoot that way. And the way I'm doing it is I just let the pin settle in. I let it hover around where it's going to hover, and then I touch it off. And it works really nice in the wind, but the part where it gets confusing is like, and then it's not windy, right? And then do you want to bounce back and forth between conscious or subconscious execution? And still when I'm practicing, I mostly shoot subconscious surprises. But when the pressure gets on or there's wind, like it's easier to execute conscious shot. So I don't know. I just know that in spurts, I've shot that way really well. And I don't know ultimately where it ends up. I do think there's a point there where, and a respect to be given, that a lot of great hunters have shot that way.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's never been a question of, is it a really accurate way to shoot? It is a really accurate way to shoot. It's the reaction from what you're telling one side of your body to do and then trying to tell your other side of the body to not react to it. That's the hard part. And there's not a lot of people who can shoot that way for a long period of time without having it break them down.
Yeah.
So that's part of where it's like a bad word, right? Because, oh, Siri, are you looking up target panic?
Siri doesn't understand.
No, the reality of it is that that's typically, that style of shooting will eventually start to induce target panic in a human.
Yeah.
Make you react with your left hand to what you're telling your right hand to do. Because you're sending a signal to your right hand, say, okay, fire it. And then your left hand goes, okay, here it comes.
Yeah.
Right? And I like to think, since I've been aware that that's how you've been shooting, I've seen it bite you at least twice.
Yeah.
I didn't want to point it out because I didn't want to put more shit in your head when you were shooting.
Yeah.
Because I like to think I'm a fair person. I don't try to mess people up. Even if I am competing against them, I don't want to do that. I don't want to see them struggle, even if I could help cause it. But I've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Since the times that we've shot together, I'd watch that and go, oh, I know what happened there. Don't talk about it. It's a big, dirty word. Don't talk about it.
And I felt it, it's a little bit of what it feels like in the moment is, it feels like it's like an oh shit, it's like,
It's exactly what it is.
It's
like
like
your
an
brain,
oh shit.
Your brain screams, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you get like a little bobble, and then the release goes off, and it, who knows, goes into Never Never Land.
Yep.
What I would like to think at this point, not having a weighted opinion one way or the other, is particularly in the wind, I'll probably get blown off target more in the wind than I would in that situation.
Yeah.
But also, I have a very calm mind. Like, I'm not easily excited in other sports and stuff. I mean, a lot of people would look at golf as particularly being like probably one of the most mentally challenging things they might try to do or experience. And I think looking back at a young age, like, golf taught me a lot about how to handle my emotions, how to carry myself, and how to perform under pressure. So I don't really have a very excitable brain when it comes to like that kind of thing. So maybe in the long run, I can handle that, or I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm open to it. You know what I mean? Well,
I know for a fact there's multiple professionals that shoot that way.
Yeah.
Multiples, like in the target world.
Yep.
Right. And if you can, that's great. If you can manage to keep your mind from reacting to what you're doing, that's phenomenal. It's a small percentage of people.
Yeah.
And maybe you're one of those people. But I can attest to, there was a major change in your ability to be consistent this year versus last year. Like, and I'm not talking minor. I'm talking major improvement. And that actually kind of makes a lot of sense if you can keep yourself calm. That's the hard part.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm open to whatever comes from it.
Dirty little punching whore, you.
You nasty little puncher.
You are a nasty little poor punching piece of shit. Yeah, it's just so hard. Like, I've questioned if I could, now the mental control that I have, I wonder if I could get away with it. But I've had the occasional one go off like that, where I know I made it go off when just shooting a regular thumb. And just because of those instances, I went, okay, don't. Because it creeps up on you and starts to get worse. It's like once every 50 shots or once every 100 shots that all of a sudden turns into 50, all of a sudden turns into 20, all of a sudden turns into 10, and then you can't even pick up a bow. Like, I can't even point at a target without freaking out.
Well, and you and I have both seen it. I'm sure you've seen it a lot more than me, but you see the guy who can't even get his finger around the trigger.
Oh, the rattlesnake.
Or get his thumb on the barrel.
That's called panic.
Yeah, and it's a real thing. So it's just something to be wary of if a person went that route. I don't think you would know until you've done both enough to know. But something you've always said is that, even if you do want to decide to punch the trigger, it's a lot easier to do if you practice shooting surprise shots.
It is.
which sounds a little counterintuitive, but that's kind of where I've leaned is like most of my practice, I would say, is surprise shots.
Yeah.
And then if I do want to punch the trigger, I don't know. And maybe that's because when you're shooting surprise shots, you're kind of not whittling away at that. Maybe there's a certain amount of number of shots before it starts to get tough on you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All that to be said, I don't really know. But
Yeah, I know throughout the year I would never ever make a shot go off until hunting season.
Mm-hmm.
And then even during practice for hunting season, I'd still not make it go off, but a thing would step in front of me and okay, time to go. And you can usually get away with that. It's just how often are you doing that versus how often are you doing it the other way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like you mentioned, I mean, man, I've had some of my best shooting results in the last couple months, and it's been the style. So I don't know. We'll all see where it goes. I just figured it was a good time to talk about it, and yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm so proud that you came out of the closet. It's like
Nobody clipped that.
It was like I felt like your friend, that your dirty little secret that I had to keep your secret for.
Yeah.
You.
Well, I think.
Oh, it's so funny. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud. He's being honest about it.
No, I think anyone could notice that was really in tune with how a person's shooting. I mean, the eyes thing is the dead giveaway. If a person's never heard that, is like typically if you watch someone who's shooting surprise shots, you'll see their eyes wince. You'll see a wince, and usually it's a pretty good wince. Sometimes if it's a real accomplished shooter like a Bodie, like it might just be a micro wince, but it is there. But yeah, when my wince goes from a big wince to no wince, I mean, there's nothing to hide. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I just look over there and it's like, you're bad.
Nasty.
That's the whole thing that pops in my head is like, you should be ashamed of yourself. Oh,
yeah.
Take you out and stone you.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't wreck you, buddy.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It's good. Well, it's good. And, as of right now, like I don't have a problem going back to shooting surprise shots either, if that's what I want.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that segment.
Hope you don't get on to heroin next.
No.
Oh, no. I'm okay. I can control it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well,
how about,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, how about coming out of the backside of that? You want to change any equipment stuff? I mean, because we're kind of coming down to crunch time now where it's like there's not any changes are probably going to be made in the next couple of weeks, and then there's not much.
Well, that was a bow that I would hunt with it for sure, no question.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a Title 34 for the people who aren't following along too much. It doesn't have a quiver attachment, which is one of the arguments that was being made of why it was a target bow, not a hunting bow. I'm like, well, there's lots of hunting bows that don't have quiver-specific attachments, so that's not a fair argument. But you can always bolt a quiver onto it on a one-piece style, which there's plenty of in the world. I'm actually building another bow to hunt antelope with. That's the first bow I'll be hunting with in this August, and that'll be a Lift 33 for getting to the weight, because I want like high weight. I'm trying to shoot as fast as I can in that bow, and I'm finishing that bow up when we're done with this. Getting a sight on it, and then I got to take that to Bow Fest because they got a night shoot, and I got to have lighted nocks, and I don't want to throw lighted nocks in my title setup and have to resight it. So I just figured I'm putting lighted nocks in that anyway. Might as well just use that. Going to use the old UFOs. Those are actually pretty impressive for what they are.
Yeah, so far so good for me. I've ran
price is reasonable.
A couple weeks, couple 3D events. I haven't had a failure. I haven't had a switch that didn't work. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no complaints so far.
Yeah, the switches do seem kind of hard to move. I've noticed that.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the couple I've played with, it's like I can't even hardly turn them off.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also not a shoot it, turn it off, shoot it, turn it off, shoot it, turn it off. I'll just shoot it and leave them on until I'm done shooting them, and then I'll go back and turn them all off. So not that big of a deal.
Yeah, somebody actually asked me in my DMs. They said, "Hey, I'm thinking about whitetail hunting. I'm new to archery. I really like what you and Josh do. Do you really think lighted nocks are important?" And I thought about it, and I was like, if you can use lighted nocks, yeah, they are important.
No, to the whole class, everyone can use lighted nocks now. It's
Okay.
not a place you can't.
Okay. Well, But the important thing is you're much more likely to see where your arrow goes in, where your arrow comes out, and where your arrow ends up, which is all really important in recovering the animal you shoot at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's going to give you a better idea of when you should go try to recover that animal.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, honestly, because that's the biggest plus with that. Is like
It's the biggest plus.
I have a much better idea for sure where I hit that animal, because the number of times that I've tracked an animal for somebody, said, "Where'd you hit him?" "Oh, right behind the shoulder." It was perfect.
Yeah.
You get up to him,
Everything's right
it's
behind the
in
shoulder.
guts, and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Well, God, I could have sworn I did, but if you see that light go, or and it doesn't pass all the way through and it's in, like sitting right where you hit, and like, okay, it's pretty blatantly obvious." And the ability to find your arrow after the shot, if it goes all the way through it and whatnot, is huge. Because recovering your arrow will tell you a lot about where you hit that animal, for sure. There's just a lot of really good pluses to it.
Yeah. That I think it will continue to be on my arrows. My hunting arrows always when I can. It sounds like there's no states that you can't now. And then it just makes sense, like particularly for shooting arrows on video, for that to have that nice lighted trail for the viewer to watch. So that's like something that I think is good. But absolutely for hunting, if it gives you a better idea of where it goes in, where it comes out, and where to find your arrow. Because how often do you shoot an arrow that zips through and you don't even find it?
Yeah.
You know? And if there's a glowing knock in the ground, like, your odds of finding that arrow are much better. And then you can look at the arrow and say, hey, how does my arrow look?
Yeah, and I go out to my cousins and sight my stuff in for long distance and then work on it for multiple times a week. It will shoot till we can't see, and then as soon as it gets dark, we'll go out there and find the ones that you missed with, because you can see them. Like, even when they're buried in the grass where you can't see them down low, it's like, oh, there's a little lighted knock. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's one.
Yeah, or your arrows cost a little more with lighted knock, but how many arrows do you save that went into the dirt?
Yeah, a lot more than you would think. It's pretty wild.
Which I know because I shot some into the dirt at Total Archery Challenge. And recovered most of them.
Did you react to a shot by chance?
No.
No.
Nope. Wouldn't do that.
I refuse to acknowledge that.
Nope.
You liar.
My high marks were hot at that tack, and I had them dialed in the final day,
Okay.
And I shot quite nicely on the final day.
You did. You shot quite nicely.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I got that going for me.
Yeah.
Well, I just finished up also with my long-term dart and review. I've shot it so much now that I have rust on my nuts.
That's fair.
I got rusty nuts.
That's fair.
I asked you, one of the questions I asked you, I said, do you think that there's an argument to be made that this is the bow of the year? And you said, go ahead, you can elaborate on that, you feel about that.
You can argue it, but it's going to be hard to call something that's that heavy the bow of the year, because it's hard to make a bow light.
Yeah.
And every good bow manufacturer is trying really hard to make their bow light.
Yeah.
They're putting a lot of work, engineering, effort, energy, time, cost into making their bow lighter. And Darton kind of just went, we don't need to do that. Let's just worry about the other parts. And the thing that will throw off how it feels, nothing will make a bigger difference than how you make a bow feel like it has less vibration, is making it heavier.
Yeah, more mass will absorb more vibration.
Mass will absorb more vibration. So it feels better because of that.
Yeah.
The telltale will be if they can make it, a quarter pound to a half pound lighter than it is, and still maintain how it feels.
But is vibration even a problem with any of the flagships that aren't carbon now?
Is it define all flagships?
I don't know. The ones that people are going into a shop and spending $1,200 to $1,500 on? Carbon?
It's still noticeable in some of them.
A carbon bow is really the bow where I'll shoot it and I can feel a ring in my hand. And that's pre-stabilizers, because I haven't ran a carbon bow that was all kitted out. So I'm not even sure, even with a carbon bow, like, I think you can get your hand shocked down probably pretty considerably as well.
Oh, you can lower it, but if you're trying to be fair when you're comparing things, you should be comparing apples to apples.
Sure.
And that's like saying, well, I can make this feel better, as opposed to, well, this one does feel better.
Yeah, apples to apples, yeah.
And when you're telling me bow of the year, I have to pay attention to that. I can't just ignore that.
Well, and here's kind of my case, and a lot of it has to do with shooting the bow and how much I enjoy shooting the bow, which is a subjectional thing, right? Like, you could give that to anyone and they could say, oh, I like shooting this bow, which is totally subjectional. But also, there's innovation in that bow that I think is going to continue to change the industry. Like, it's going to be a pivot forever with the timing thing. I think that's a chapter that's going to change I think it'll change it forever. Like, I think there will be iterations of that in every bow 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road.
Well, sure, but you can't. I mean, that system that came out is incredibly simple. That being said, Bowtech's had timing systems in their cams for a while, so I don't think you can just say it's one brand's credit, right? I think it made it simple.
Yeah.
But it has already existed.
Yeah, it has existed.
It's existed just in a different way.
And it's in a better way.
That being said, I think Darton's way is the best way I've seen by a long shot.
Yeah.
It's very simple. It's very easy and could be done in the field on the fly. Like,
and I got to talk. Yeah.
We were checking trying to check your timing at draw, and you're just like, that one looks like it's a little fast. You could
give the nipple a twist.
Give it a little twisty and tighten her back.
And
down.
I got to talk to Corey, and I was like, hey, because I had heard, I think it was actually maybe from PJ when he was reviewing the Darton in his bow of the year video. I think he said, like, you should put it in a press when you adjust that. And I asked Corey, I'm like, Corey, should I press this if I mess with the timing? Because I don't know better. He's like, no. He's like, you just want to make sure you don't screw the nut out all the way, because then it would come apart.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sick to be able to not put it in a press, adjust your left to right tears, which I think for most people, you're going to get enough lateral tear adjustment. I think actually for most people, you'll get that without having to move the cams. And then to adjust your timing by just a little also, for a person like you that maybe wanted to get a little nuts, you could twist those cables up.
If you wanted, yeah.
Yeah.
You still could. I'd avoid doing it that way altogether.
Yeah.
I would move I would change the spacers out left to right if it came down to it, if you needed to. But I haven't had to take one apart yet.
Well, particularly when my bow got the gas strings on it and cables, it came in a little low with the poundage.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we twisted those up.
Sure. Well, that's true for all bows.
Yeah.
Like if the poundage is off a little bit and the axle to axle looks right, you probably ought to shorten the control bus cable, control cable.
But that's an easy way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
there's no negative. So a lot of times when you look at the light tuning features that certain bows have, there's no negative to using that timing feature. Like you don't need to disconnect your cable and twist it. You can just turn that. No, it's a good plus. I like it a lot. I wish it was on every bow made.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd just license it and let people buy that technology to use on their bows in the future.
Yeah.
Because it is very simplistic.
I'm curious. My prediction is next year someone's just going to have an iteration that's like their version of it, and they're just going to work around it.
I don't think they're going to try to work around it. I think there's probably going to be lawsuits about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could happen.
It happens a lot in this industry.
And also, I kind of brought my mind around the decision to take the 35 and shrink it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
You ever shrink a bow?
No, you're just sneaking your way into what you think is a little bit hotter, a little bit better, a little tool for the job.
Yes.
For the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the 35 and, I told the audience that they could decide if I could blow it up or give it away. Either way, I'll let them vote and we'll figure out what the next move is. And then I will go to a 33, which is going to be a happy and a sad day to retire that bow.
Yeah. It's done well for you.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully you're not jinxing yourself right now.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because that other 33 is not here yet, is what I'm thinking. And I need a bow.
You do?
So hopefully it gets here pretty quick. But I'm betting it will. That would be nice. Yeah.
I vote torch it.
Yeah. Torch it. Run it over with a side-by-side. What else?
Run it over with a side-by-side probably won't hurt it that much, honestly. There's always the old dry fire, but I think that'd be pretty anticlimactic because you're probably going to get 1 or 2 shots and the cams are going to cave, and then it's still going to look like a bow, and that's boring, right? You gotta do something fun with it, like melt the aluminum in the riser.
Take a 12 gauge to it.
That probably still wouldn't do much of what you think, honestly, because it's pretty solid. Like you're going to have to do a lot to get it to separate in the riser. Now you could put like a blowtorch on the limb and just wait for the limb to disintegrate.
Oh my God, that sounds scary.
Yeah, but that might take 10 seconds. That might take 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. There's all kinds of different options when it comes to that. So, but at the end of the day, I really hope that your people simply vote for you to give it away, because it does seem kind of wasteful to just do that.
Yeah. We'll find out. Time will tell.
Yes, it will.
Kind of scary.
Yeah.
Letting that decision to the internet. Gosh, what was I? I don't know. It's interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing how well the 33 can shoot. Because I think, that was a point I wanted to make, was the 35, after I've spent a lot of time with it, I think is really for a person who's like not the majority of people. They're a person who maybe wants to shoot a lot of 3D archery or competition archery. And maybe they have a long draw,
Mm-hmm.
But I think the majority of people is like a 31 or a 33, and that's the right fit for a hunting situation.
Oh, I agree 100%. Like, that makes so much sense. The 33 is where it's at. That's why when I picked one out for my own personal use,
have you spent time with it yet?
Yeah, I've got a built 33 in Nashville.
Yeah.
That was the first bow I built down there just to shoot stuff. No, I didn't film it. Sorry.
How does it feel at your draw
I've
length?
built like 3 bows now that I didn't film this year, and every time I show up with a bow that I didn't film, people are all pissy. Like,
how does it feel at your draw length?
It feels good. Like, I'd totally hunt with that bow. No problem. I will hunt with that bow. I'll kill some deer in Tennessee with it.
Did you let Brandon get his dirty little mitts on it?
Yeah, he shot a little bit.
That's cool.
He liked it. He's like, wow, that's surprisingly nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done a good job.
Yeah.
They really have. Just make it lighter.
That's
make
what Josh
it
would like.
lighter.
Yeah.
Well, you want to make an argument to having the best bow. Like, I can't give it that label, period, because it's just so heavy. Because you can make a lot of other things happen in a bow by keeping the riser heavy to make it easier to make something that's compelling.
Yeah.
If that person's willing to completely ignore what it weighs. No different than the elite bows feel pretty good. They're just heavy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't give them a lot of praise either, which there's haters in there. But hey, make the thing lighter. Like, make it lighter. Make it competitive. Because the bulk of the competitives, and I hate to break it to everybody, but you got to watch what Hoyt and Matthews do, because that's the bulk of the innovation and the things that most people are comparing against. So if you can't compete with those in the categories, you're going to have a hard time. And those bows are both relatively light for what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're spending a lot of machine time, a lot of run time making those bows light.
Yeah. And I don't think we're going to see them get too much later, do you? Just a diminishing returns thing?
Out of aluminum, no.
Maybe
Like,
new material.
You can make that same thing out of magnesium, but you'd have to, like, the darting out of magnesium would probably be great. It would probably be right around that 4-pound mark. It would probably be great. And you have to leave a lot of material, a lot more material in a magnesium bow because it's softer, I want to say. You can't cut as much out and have it still hold up.
Yeah, that's certainly how that Bowtech looks. It looks like it's got more.
It's a little thicker.
More material.
And it's on purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, but it also weighs, 3.7?
Is it thick or is it thick? With 2 C's.
The second one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But that was that was by design, and it still ends up at like 3.7.
Oh.
All right, so you could easily make that 35 bow at 4 out of that, or a little less. And I do think that's where we're going, folks. I'll be surprised if we're not. That's not me lobbying for it, because I could care less. I don't think it's. I think it's easier to work with than carbon is. And my sit down time with Hoyt, I was like, hey, well, how much would it really cost to just make this carbon bow here? Because that bow's made in China, and double. Like, that'd be a $4,000 bow. Nobody'd buy it, right? Yeah. Just to say it was made in America, and a lot of that is environmental and regulatory things. Right, so our country won't allow you to make that bow the way that you need to make it function, and their processes are more refined than ours because of the environmental issues that you run into when you're starting to deal with those products, that they don't have the same environmental restrictions over there, so they're making it over there, and they've learned it and developed it and got better at it. Well, where our country said, we're green, we're not doing that. So then there's nobody here working on those projects and getting better at them. So we're allowing other countries to innovate based off of environmental decisions. And eventually, mind you, that's the stupidest part about it, not to get, political or whatnot, but that's the dumbest part about it, is it's still happening. It's just not happening over here. It's happening over there. So what good is it to say we're not going to do this, to let other countries just raise their hand and say, we'll gladly do it, send it over here and let us make the money.
Yeah.
If the task is happening anyway, what's the point? and that's why. God, why is it whenever it comes to this name, I can never remember fabrics? What's the term for
Textiles?
Textiles. Thank you. Why can I never remember that?
I don't know. I'm surprised I got it on the first try.
That's why textiles are not made here. Like they're none of them. It's the environmental practices in order to get those things to go together correctly. We can't do because it's bad for the environment. So they don't allow you to do it here. That's part of why all those mills are over there. It's because they're allowed to do it and we're not.
Yeah.
And then eventually you end up with a society that is incapable of doing it because you've generationally gone out of that process. So there's nobody here that still even knows how to do it. And it's unfortunate. But that's where the magnesium, because they still do that here and still have factories here, is probably a more logical solution. Plus, you're not taking and insetting metal pieces inside of carbon pieces to try to make it work. Because you can't thread carbon. You can't screw something into carbon. You can't screw a side into carbon. You can't screw a rest into carbon. You have to have some kind of metal, whether it be aluminum, steel, magnesium, titanium, etc., some sort of plate to actually screw it into in a carbon bow where you can thread magnesium. So if you have a magnesium, rare earth, mineral, alloy, or whatever they want to call it, you can thread it. So you're not putting insets into things to try to make those combinations hold together. And that was where some of the earlier designs of carbon really failed, is they couldn't really bond them together well enough. And over time, some of them, not all of them, but some of them came loose. Because at the end of the day, you're gluing things together and hope the glue never pops loose on you.
Yeah.
Which can happen, especially when you change the environment a lot.
Yeah. There's one universal truth, and that's fires start and fires go out. Our fire is out. I think definitely in the next couple of weeks, we will do some type or a couple of hunting, more hunting bow or hunting focused episodes. One of those will probably be a Q&A about maybe hunting bow stuff. And to get to those, typically either Josh or myself is going to post a Q&A on our Instagram. It's just the best way to collect questions. So give the Instagrams a follow if you want to participate in that. Check out podiomarcher.com. That's Josh's website. It's got all the things and even more than all the things. It's got a lot of archery things.
Everything every boy or girl would ever want.
Yeah. You're kind of ridiculous about some of the stuff you keep in your inventory, but I get it. If you want to carry everything, that means you have to have everything and places to put it and places to ship it out of.
My bank account's not happy about it, but hey, we're doing it all.
Yeah. So that's podiomarcher.com. I have a discount code. It's TimC. Help support, what we do and help you save a few bucks as well. That's the pod. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And that's another Fireside Chat. Out. Goodbye.